Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei, and you are still watching the morning forecast show 2 hours before the opening bell, an hour before, hopefully, we get Martyn live on the show. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for all your support. Let's get straight into today's story where we will be looking at a market crash. Michael Burry is predicting a market crash. Martyn Michael Burry. I had a conversation with him, and he also believes the carry trade unwind will be occurring. So, what does that all mean? What does it mean for our investments? Does it mean we're just going to crash tomorrow and no relief rally? Well, no one knows the future, but we can do the best we can to navigate the markets and to be prepared for every scenario. That's how you win. You don't win by predicting the future because no one can predict the future. You win by planning for every scenario and giving yourself an edge by all the tools we can use at our disposal. We are live. We are ready to go. If you have just tuned in, let's hit the like button. Shall we play Phoenix to begin? I think we deserve to play Phoenix. Let's play Phoenix. Let's get the likes up. Let's welcome everyone into the channel. We are here. We are live. Let's go. Everyone, smash the like button. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Let's win again. We are live. We are here. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Here we go. Let's get some love in the chat. Let's get some hype in the chat. Let me show you the chat. Everyone go crazy in the chat. We are live. We are here. We're going to cover the story. We're going to get prepared as we do. And we are going to win again. Here we go. Here we go, I'm loving it. Smash the like button, go crazy in the chat. We will come on to the main story of Michael Burry predicting a crash, how I'm positioning, my portfolio, my thoughts, my research. We'll come on to all of that, but let's just go crazy in the chat. Hit the like button. I'm loving all the emojis. Keep it going. You guys can react over here. If you've already hit the like button, there is a react button over here. If you press that, you can send some hearts as well. Here we go.
Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. Thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. Thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
I'm loving all the love. Hello Rob Brennan, hello Human Being Liz, hello Kimberly, hello Silver Days XRP. Can we all go crazy? Hit that like button, share this out, subscribe. Someone said the market's crashing, but hey, let's have a dance party. That's what it's about. We're a community here. We like to navigate the markets. We like to have fun, but first and foremost, we're here for each other.
Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread.
Guys, your support means the world. Look at this chat. Absolutely crazy. Your support means the world to me, Martyn, KC, and Baz.
You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings and rise from the ashes.
here. This is what this channel's always been about, the community. We're here for each other. I'm going to give a quick statement and then we're going to move on to the show. So Martyn has just updated us here. Martyn has said this channel is still in a 72-hour investigation. We will update you after that point. There'll be no comment until after that time. Thank you. That is all we're going to say. We take it day by day. We celebrate the times we're here. You need to know all about our backup channels. I'll give you the newsletter link if you haven't got the newsletter yet. It is free. Remember, there is a paid plan, but we're not asking you to pay. We're asking you to just stay in communication with us. So there's the newsletter link. Press it. Go for the. There is a free plan, so you can get all the updates. There is a premium plan as well. Go check out the Discord, the extra channel. We've got a super chat as well.
And Paul Minter Richmond tipped $1.99 through super chat. Strong family community Phoenix. Red heart emoji.
Thank you, Paul Minter Richmond. It's all about the community. So yeah, no further comment on anything. We are going to take it day by day. We're going to be here. We're going to do our shows. Maybe one day we can't, and that's what all the backups are for. So the channel's under a 72-hour investigation. We will update you when after that point. There will be no comment until after that. So let's continue our morning show, and if we can please try and refrain from commenting about the situation. Just be prepared for just like the market, be prepared for every scenario. We're prepared for every scenario, and so should you. If you do lose us here, you have all the backups in place. I'll give you that newsletter link once more so you can subscribe. We'll get through this. We're a community. We're here for each other, and your support means the world. Let's get into the morning forecast show. Thank you, everyone, for joining again. Thank you for all the love. We appreciate it. Let's go over to this screen over here. This is my very own portfolio. We are doing a portfolio challenge in the newsletter. We are up today. We've only invested 1,200, 1,300, something like that. Let me go into, I'm not going to show the investments because of, I don't want to give it all away. Where do I show you? Anyway, there's the portfolios on the screen. I'll figure out a better way to show all of this in the future. Maybe if I go over here and the investments here. Yeah, you can see we are up 5% on the challenge already on the invested cash, and that's after the buys came in. So there you go. We are up on the day. We are up on that challenge. That is something we've started as part of the premium newsletter to release my full research methods. We'll keep an eye on this portfolio. It is going to be exciting. We're going to go through ups and downs. I'm sure we're going to be down one day. When you start a portfolio, you're bound to be down, especially if it's a long-term investment. But it's about compounding over time and positioning ourselves in sectors that we think will outperform the general market. Anyway, as always, it's not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy. This is my own story, my own journal, my investment journey. And please don't take anything as financial advice. Please be careful when you invest in the markets, especially in volatile asset classes. Okay, let's get on to the story of today again from our morning forecast show. You can see if you go to sensei.news, you've got everything clearly laid out at the top. You can go to the chat, that's where the community is. You can go to the XRP Weekly, that's our XRP newsletter, comes out every week. You can go to the morning forecast, that's the daily newsletter that comes out every single morning, every single trading morning to get you prepared for the day. And there's the portfolio challenge. You can see our entries and the last one, which was all roads lead to copper. So there you go. Let's go to the morning forecast newsletter and get the stories of the day covered. So here we go. So today's top stories are, actually, I'll make this into a video. Still live. Yes, we're here. As you can see, there's a pinned comment that explains everything. Good intro music and that Phoenix. Yes. Well, thank you very much. We love the Phoenix. We will rise. Here we go. So let me make this into a video. Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We are going to cover in this video, a very short video to give you all the headlines of today, the 4th of February, and also the top movers in the market. We've got big stories here from Michael Burry, and a crash upcoming. Alphabet's, Google's earnings coming up. We've got big movers such as Enphase. So let's get to the stories. This is taken from our morning forecast newsletter. It's the first link in the description. You can get it for free. There's also a premium plan if you so desire. So today's top stories are Anthropic, one of the biggest AI companies that's not public yet, hits a $350 billion valuation. A $20 billion funding round doubles its value, providing massive cash for AI infrastructure needs. Anthropic is actually one of the leaders in the AI space. It's Claude AI is what one of the Anthropic's products, and it's just doubled its valuation after a funding round, which gives it a lot of capital to reinvest. Then we've got Bitcoin, which safe haven narrative is cracking. We've been telling you about this for the longest time. Bitcoin is not a safe haven asset. It's just not. When has there been a crash and Bitcoin hasn't crashed? In fact, every crash we've seen recently in the last 5 years, Bitcoin leads that crash. We see Bitcoin go down first. We see Bitcoin peak first. We see Bitcoin put in its local top first, and then the general market comes down. So what we saw is a few months ago, over a few months ago now, Bitcoin peak, go into a bear market as we announced a few months ago, and now the general stock market is following suit. So we can't say Bitcoin is a safe haven asset because gold has been going through the roof and Bitcoin's been going down. They don't really correlate that much. Also now, especially with all the Epstein files, we I don't think it's going to hold up as that narrative either. Again, we did a video on the Epstein files. I'll link it down below what that was all about. You can go and check it out for yourself. I don't think Bitcoin's narrative has completely left what investors think. I just don't think it's a safe haven asset. I don't think the market believes it's a safe haven asset. I think we've got enough evidence to suggest that. But also Bitcoin itself is cracking. What it stood for is cracking. Who it was created by is getting revealed. We're starting to get a better sense of who Satoshi was. And we're getting a sense about the Bitcoin maxis and what they tried to do to XRP. So Bitcoin as itself, I still think is going to perform well over time because it's the first currency. It's because it's the most institutionalized cryptocurrency. So I still think Bitcoin's going to go up in the long term, maybe in 5-10 years. I still think 500,000, a million is possible for Bitcoin. But for me, the risk reward is greater on other tokens when they come down. I will still position myself in Bitcoin because that is where the sentiment is and where the big money is flowing into. That's undeniable. Bitcoin is still the king of the crypto market. That is undeniable. But a lot of the pros of Bitcoin and a lot of the unique selling points of Bitcoin are cracking. So Bitcoin's safe haven narrative cracks. Prices fell yesterday to $72,000 as investors fled crypto for gold amid rising global geopolitical tensions. We've then got IPO market faces stress test. 8 companies debut this week, including 4Gent Power, to gauge investors' appetite for AI growth. IPOs are coming this week. We've got Alphabet AI pivot off. Search revenue grew 13% as the company successfully integrated Gemini 3 to silence industry critics. Remember last year there was this whole narrative that Google and its search is not going to be as popular as it once was, and that's a lot of the revenue from Google come when you go onto the Google, you type something in, ads pop up, this pops up, that pops up. When AI and ChatGPT came out of nowhere, that was a threat to Google because people would use ChatGPT or other AIs as an alternative to Google search bar. And then Google came back with, if you've noticed now, when you go on Google and you type something in, it comes up with an AI summary. It also has an AI mode on Google search engine. So they've fought back, and what has happened is actually their search revenue growth is growing, which is bringing it back, which is making it the leader in the AI industry, which is making it the leader in the Magnificent Sevens growth as well. But The warning comes from Burry, where he says, warns of a death spiral. The big short investor predicts forced selling could collapse Bitcoin at linked commodity markets. So we're looking now at Bitcoin treasury companies, Bitcoin linked markets, Bitcoin itself. That could lead to bankruptcy, deleveraging, and a crash. Then we explore that idea further with our own research. Software sector enters a bear market. That's what we have in the software sector. Think of Salesforce. Think of companies in the software sector. They are very much in a bear market right now because those tech stocks have plunged 28% from peaks as Anthropic's new automation tool sparks massive industry disruption. Those are some of the key stories in our morning newsletter. First link in the description. You can get it for free. You can dive into each and every one of those stories. But let's have a quick look at our winners and losers for today. We've got Silicon Laboratories, ticker symbol SLAB, rose on inventory normalization and CHIPS Act grants ahead of imminent fourth quarter earnings and recent analyst coverage. We've got Enphase Energy, one of our top picks. Martyn has been talking about this. I've been talking about this. Remember, what was it, 2-3 months ago? We looked at Enphase. We did a whole deep dive. Martyn came out and did fundamental analysis. And what we looked at was Enphase at a level that I was very interested in buying. And I did buy. I shared that with everyone. We looked at it at $30. We looked at it at $29. It's gone all the way from $26 to where we are now at at $46. We're up 80%. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't buy it that low. I bought it at $30. So I'm up about 53% on that position. So it's at $46. Upside resistance will be $58. That was a target always, and the support is going to be at $37. Let's see if it breaks this downtrend and if Enphase can continue its rising momentum after its surge of its fourth quarter earnings, beating and a safe harbor revenue pipeline that validates its clean energy tailwinds. We've got Digital Turbine up 16%. SMCI, Super Micro Computers, rallied after reporting significant revenue guidance growth. So we've got SMCI up. We've got Jinko Solar up as well. The losers today were Interapp. Shares fell as the market questions its profitability path following mixed guidance in its second quarter physical earnings report. We've got Varonis Systems dropped due to ongoing securities litigation. And we've got AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, declined after reports of MI450 GPU production delays. So a few things on sale there, a few things up today. We're going to continue with some top stories. In fact, we're going to cover the whole narrative of Bitcoin crashing, XRP crashing, the AI bubble, and I'll put that video up here for you to go check out. Go check out the free newsletter as well down here. You can always keep up to date with us if we ever need to contact you, but also to give you any vital updates, but also to give you the daily newsletter and all the other perks that come with the newsletter. So I'll put that down here. The video's up here. I'll put something else up here. Please subscribe over here. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Okay, let me go back to live chat. Let's go on to that main story today. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Let me give you that newsletter link in the chat as well. Please do go sign up. There is a free plan as well. Will we ever go green? I don't think Michael Saylor and Tom Lee are waking up in good margin call mood. They won't get margin called. Well, I don't know. I haven't looked at Tom Lee too much. But Michael Saylor and Michael Strategy, they've got a good bit of cash for runway before they have to sell any Bitcoin. They're not really leveraged up like they once were. Hi Sensei, says Darren Brown. Hello Ricardo. Hello David Hensley. Hello human being Liz. Will we ever go green? There's always a bull market somewhere. I'm green. Martyn's green. Some of the market's red. Some of the market's very green. Bull markets. There's always a bull market somewhere. Bounce Back says, good morning, everyone. It's time we the people. So are you all out of XRP? Are we still in? I don't give financial advice. I don't know what's right for you. What's right for me is I am in. I am in XRP. Why? Well, because I've got a spot position. I made enough money trading it throughout the bull market. I'm continuing to make money trading it, so I just hold a spot bag. There's no real reason for me to take profits. Remember, I bought at 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. So now I'm just adding to that spot position as at specific levels. All those levels are discussed in the newsletter. So yeah, I'm in. Don't know what's right for you. I think the BAM, if you want my take on crypto as a whole, we'll come on to it. But I think this year we will bottom on crypto and then go into bull market. So where's that bottom going to come? Probably towards October, probably second half of this year. But we'll get an opportunity to buy it low enough around these levels. One more crash in the markets. We are sat on a borderline resistance support level on XRP and Bitcoin. I've started laddering in. One more correction, I think I'll buy more, and then we'll probably get a rally up until maybe later on this year where we have that final capitulation. That'll be the final buying opportunity, and then I think there'll be a bull market. That's my opinion. That's my thoughts based off research and the cycles and everything. Tim Rogers is here. Lovely to have Tim Rogers here. Lovely to have you here. ADP numbers, very important. They are the only employment data. We'll keep an eye on some of these numbers. ADP is coming out in 14 minutes. 14 minutes. We'll cover that. It's a win. I'm not selling, but just tired of red days like the rest of us. Yeah. Bounce back. I actually genuinely want more red days. I want more red days to buy more. The longer it's red and the conviction stays the same, the more money I can make in the future. I don't want to make money tomorrow. What's the point? I want to make money in a few years. I want to make money once I am able to benefit from the lows as much as possible. So I like the red days. Staying in XRP, XDC, Algo, Paul Mantovich Man is here. Tim Rogers says, hello, hello. Says Martyn going live today. Good morning, everyone. Let me have a quick look over here. Yeah, Martyn will be going live in half an hour's time. I think for me, it's a good time to start DCing into crypto, especially BTC. Good luck to you, Rob Brennan. I haven't bought in the last 2 years. The last buys I did was November of, oh no, maybe. No, the last buys I did was altcoins in November of 2024. And then we had 600, 700, 1,000% moves up. So yeah, I haven't bought in a while, but I've actually started again. Are we back? We're here. Please look at the pinned comment. How low do you think XRP will go? I don't know. I'll buy at levels. I can't predict the future. If I had to give a guess how low XRP will go, it depends how long the bear market continues, how low Bitcoin goes, what the state of the economy is. Do we head into a recession? But I wouldn't be surprised to see XRP trading at $1.10. I mean, that could be if there's no black swan event, then that is a real possibility, and I think that will be as low as it goes. If there's no black swan event, if there's a black swan event, then we might dip below $1. Okay, let's get into the top story today, which is all about the crash that is now being predicted and that we need to be prepared for. Remember, prepare for every scenario, even though every scenario is not going to happen. You don't have a crystal ball, you don't know what's going to happen, so you better be prepared. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't give you all the answers. We can just use all our tools at our disposal to make educated guesses and win. Okay, let me go over to here. The AI crash, is it coming? Is it a bubble like the dot-com era? Is there going to be a great unwind? Well, we've got a story in it for you in our very own newsletter. First link in the description, you can get access to all our deep dives and our daily newsletter. But let's get straight into that deep dive. The great unwind. Is this an AI.com crash moment? We're looking at Michael Burry's prediction of a crash. We're looking at crypto correcting, XRP correcting, Bitcoin correcting. How low can it go? We're looking at the AI space. Is it like a .com era crash? Can we get a recession this year? Hopefully, we can give you better insights by the end of this video. It's going to be very short. It's going to have timestamps down below as well, too. If you'd rather skip to certain sections, you can. But it's going to be short, so I recommend you watching all the way through. Let's start with Michael Burry and his prediction for a death spiral warning. So he's saying, Michael Burry, the investor who famously shorted the 2008 housing bubble, just published a grim analysis on Substack, suggesting that Bitcoin's recent slide has entered a death spiral. Guys, I wouldn't just take someone's word for it. He predicted one thing. He did great at the 2008 short. We like Michael Burry. I like some of his analysis. I follow him on Substack. Go check him out. I've spoken directly to him about the carry trade unwind in Japan, and he agrees with me. I've had direct communication. I've shared that on my own Substack. So I like Michael Burry, but we have to face the fact that he's called for a crash many times, and that crash hasn't come many times. So take it with a grain of salt, and then I'll do my own analysis as well. After a 40% drop from its October peak, Bitcoin tumbled below $73,000 this week. In fact, it was just yesterday where we saw it go down to those levels, marking its longest losing streak since 2018. Burry's thesis isn't about Bitcoin's vibe, but its plumbing. He argues that falling prices are triggering a mechanic feedback loop of forced selling across corporate balance sheets, mining operations, and even precious metals. The data backs the tension, as nearly 2.5 billion in leverage positions were wiped out in late January, and MicroStrategy's MSTR has seen its stock price fall 64% over the last 6 months as it grapples with billions in unrealized losses. Let's just quickly touch on MicroStrategy, because this is a trade that we carried out, a trade that I published. Again, it's not financial advice, but we looked at MicroStrategy, the peak at 540, the double top at 420, and the final breakdown at $350. Massive warning signs were in place for MicroStrategy, and in fact, the short I took is yielding right now, and I have last night closed that position at $127, down 70%. That's not even from the peak; that's from where the confirmations came in place, and even the final confirmation, if you wanted a real confirmation, even from then we're down 60%. So MicroStrategy, normally, if you look at previous bull markets, it breaks down before Bitcoin. So you normally see MicroStrategy peak before Bitcoin. We saw that. We normally see MicroStrategy break support before Bitcoin. We saw that. Then the Bitcoin goes on its correction path. And then what you actually see is the broader stock market follow. So it's normally MicroStrategy peaks before Bitcoin does. Then Bitcoin peaks. Then the market crashes. Then the stock market crashes. So that's the cycle playing out. So MicroStrategy's peaked and crashed, potentially now forming a bottom, maybe at 138, or maybe it'll capitulate down lower, probably will at this point, maybe to $90. So MicroStrategy's peaked, it's trying to find a bottom. Bitcoin has peaked. Altcoins have crashed. Bitcoin is corrected a fair amount as well. If you look at Bitcoin, again, another thing we released on our FOMC cheat sheet in the newsletter, that was a short at 90,000 all the way down to 73,000, and that's occurred, or that all the way down to 76,000, that occurred. So Bitcoin's now down, that's a quick side note. Bitcoin's down 40%, altcoins are down 90%, and now are we starting to see the S&P 500 top out? Well, maybe we are. Potentially we are. In my opinion, now is the time for the general markets, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. They have gone sideways. They've got bearish divergence on the chart. I think it's time for the stock market to correct as well. Are we going to see a gold and silver correction? Well, potentially we'll see a bounce and then also a correction in the precious metal space as well. So let's go back to analysis, because I do agree there is a certain narrative going around now about AI, about a bubble that can catch on, that has some merit to it, and we'll explore that further now. So he's giving a warning about those specific types of companies that hold Bitcoin, that trade Bitcoin, that have it on its balance sheet, and I agree. They obviously have a problem now. The contingent suggests that Bitcoin is failing as digital gold. That whole narrative, we've debunked it. We've now potentially know who Satoshi is. I'll put it as a card up here about Satoshi and who we think he is and his links to Jeffrey Epstein and all of that sort of stuff. Bitcoin is no longer it's never been and I don't know why people keep saying it, a hedge against geopolitical situations or uncertainty or crashes, because when the stock market crashes, Bitcoin crashes. When when precious metals go up like gold and silver for geopolitical situation, Bitcoin crashes. Bitcoin isn't a hedge really against these situations. It has other benefits, and I'm not going to keep going on about all the bad things about Bitcoin. It has some great benefits, and it's the biggest benefit is the fact that it was the first one and it's the king of the market and all the institutions are buying it. That's the main benefit for Bitcoin. All the other arguments are, why don't you just buy digital gold? So anyway, Bitcoin, it still has a place in the market. It's still going to do well, but we are looking at a further correction on Bitcoin. We'll go into the chart in a second, because Bitcoin, if it breaks this level, we can look for a bigger crash. But let's come on to the great unwind. Is this AI.com moment? Software stocks have crashed into a bear market territory. Bitcoin has lost 40% of its value from its peak. Value is crushing growth, but by the wildest margin since 2001. And what does that mean? It means the growth stocks aren't performing as well as the value stocks, and the value stocks are performing very well. And that margin between the value growth and the growth stocks is the largest since 2001. So here's what retail investors need to know. Something broke in the markets this week. If you look at the iShares Expanded Tech Software Sector ETF, IGV, it plummeted into a bear market territory, down 28% from its September 2025 high. This is the software sector's steepest drawdown since 2008. JP Morgan analyst Toby Ogg captured the mood. We are now in an environment where the sector isn't just guilty until proven innocent, but it is now being sentenced before trial. The catalyst was Anthropic's rollout of new automation tools, which sent shockwaves through enterprise software. The damage has been severe. Intuit is down 34% year to date. ServiceNow is lost 28%. Salesforce has shed 26%, and Microsoft has dropped 12%. And if you look here, we've got a chart of the software sector enters a bear market. You can see the software sector is in red, very much down 28%. It's off the charts. And here we've got the S&P 500, which is just holding steady. Remember, the S&P 500 does contain a lot of AI stocks, but mostly it's actually value stocks hidden underneath. So you've got the software sector really underperforming. And now we're looking at the great rotation. So while software burns, value stocks are thriving. The Russell 1000 value index has beaten its growth counterpart by 14 percentage points since November. That's the widest gap since the 2022 bear market. Here is the uncomfortable part. The last time, this is important, again, the past doesn't predict the future, but it can certainly rhyme. The last time value, and we're talking about value growths here, the ones that generate money and they're not just all speculative and built on a lot of future value. The value stocks underperformed. The last time value. I'll repeat that. The last time value outperformed growth by this much was during the early days of the dot-com bust in 2001. Jefferies' Andrew Greenbaum argues the rotation is just getting started. He said, if you look further back, there's plenty of room for outperformance. So value crushes growth by the wildest margin since 2001. If you can see the value index up 8.6%, and then the growth index down 5.4%, you can see those margins are the largest since early 2001 crash. And here's another thing I want to bring to your attention, the 95% failure rate. MIT's study reveals that 95% of enterprise AI pilots fail to generate meaningful returns. This echoes the dot-com era, when the gap between infrastructure investment and actual returns eventually triggered a collapse. And then we've got crypto as part of this as well. We've got Bitcoin, which has plunged 40% from its October 2025 highs of 126,000. Now it's hovering near 76,000. Saw it as low as 72,000 yesterday. According to Glassnode, small holders have persistently been selling for over a month, while mega whales quietly accumulate. The broader damage, 1.7 trillion in the crypto market value, has evaporated since October. Most damning for the digital gold narrative, while Bitcoin crashed 40%, actual gold surged to record highs of above £5,000 per ounce. When fearful investors need a safe haven, they choose the yellow metal over the cryptocurrency that promised to replace it. And that's Michael Burry's narrative. That's my narrative. I don't think Bitcoin is a digital gold. If you want digital gold, just go buy digital gold. There is such thing as digital gold now. It's divisible. You can transport it anywhere. And the best thing is you can redeem it for real gold. So that narrative has gone. I don't know why people are still trying to pretend that is a narrative. We've got MicroStrategy topped out, Bitcoin topped out. Has the stock market now topped out? If we quickly look at Bitcoin's chart, if we do get one final flush out, and again, I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to get a bounce before we've already hit our first target of the short. I can get rid of that now. We've done it. We've executed. Congratulations. What we're looking for now is potentially a bounce. That can certainly happen. There's a lot of shorters. There's a lot of leverage. The market likes to punish both sides. But if we break $74,000, there's really not much in our way until maybe the 200-week moving average around 57,000. So that will be quite a big drop. And what would that mean for XRP? Well, that would mean for XRP probably going down to its 200-day moving average, which is at $1.11 after its next target of $1.38. So we can really have some big moves to downside to continue. And that might correlate with the stock market coming down. And then I expect Bitcoin and XRP to bottom out before the stock market does. Now, does this happen tomorrow? Does it happen next week? Does it happen in 3 months? I don't know. I expect there to be a big wave down first, maybe a bounce, and then a final capitulation. I expect that all to take place in 2026. I think the bear market will start and finish, or the bear market and the stock market will start and finish this year. I think the bear market will end this year for the crypto market. It can be towards the end of the year, but I'm ready to buy. I'm going to be on the right side of the trade. If you do want to know more about what I'm doing, again, not as financial advice, but just as my thoughts and opinions, you can go and sign up to the newsletter. You have all of this analysis, all the deep dives. You also get access to the £5,000 portfolio challenge, which we've just kicked off. Full research report, my full playbook, what I'm looking for in the stock market. You've got access to the XRP weekly newsletter. You've got access to the one-on-one DM access. You can message me anytime. You've got access to the community. You've got access to my sensei's insights on all the stories. You've got access to a chart of the day. You've got access to the event cheat sheets every time there's a big event, FOMC, CPI, or Bank of Japan interest rate hikes. I give you all my analysis, all my thoughts, the step-by-step playbook, and also all the charts I'm doing. You get the daily newsletter, the top movers, the chart training course, the portfolio insights app coming later this year, and the chart analysis course hopefully coming in the next couple weeks. You get all of that as part of the newsletter. There's also a free plan, so go check it out. First link in the description. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Remember, nothing I'm saying is for you to copy, just for as a journal for my own portfolio. Plus, you get all the news as well. So go check that out. First link in the description. We're currently giving away 25% discount. So that's crypto. I've given you my thoughts on that. Then let's look at the safe haven divergence. You've got Bitcoin down 40%, gold up 26%. They are not. They seem to just counteract each other. So that gets rid of that argument. The recession question. Now let's look at the recession question. Moody's put the recession risk of a 2026 recession at 42%. That's pretty high, and we could certainly see a recession this year. I don't want to be that person that just calls for a recession every year, because many people do that. We don't. But I'm starting to say, actually, recession this year. High likelihood. JP Morgan sees it at 40%. Mark Gazani, Moody's chief economist, offered a stark statement. He said, I think we'll most likely get through 2026 without a downturn, but nothing else can go wrong. Like nothing. We're pretty much on the edge, is what he said. Deloitte's analyst is sobering. A drop in AI-related spending could be enough to push us into a recession, given how much consumer spending and business investment now relies on AI-related stock prices. That is a real concern now in the market. So much AI spending has been going on. Now there's companies that might not be seeing the benefits of that. They will over time. AI is certainly going to change the world, but they might not be seeing the benefit of that now. They might be putting in more money than they can afford, and they might reduce their AI spending. If that happens, we can head into a recession. So what does this mean for your portfolio? For stock investors, when value beats growth by 14 points in 3 months, matching levels only seen during the 2001 dot-com bust and the 2024 bear market, it's time to reassess your Magnificent 7 exposure. Consider rebalancing towards quality value names. Not financial advice, but that is what analysts suggest. For crypto holders, Bitcoin's digital gold narrative has been tested and found wanting. Watch the 72,000 level. A break below that opens the door to 58,000. Be prepared for that. XRP holders also be prepared for that. Would probably translate to 138, and then also its moving average at $1.11. That's moving up. So at whatever point we come down, we'll look at the 200-day moving average. And for everyone, I'm not calling an immediate crash, but the setup rhymes with past bubbles. AI spending is projected at 1.1 trillion through 2029, yet 95% of piloted projects fail to generate returns. That's the dot-com playbook. I don't think it's the same as the dot-com era, but it is giving those vibes. I think AI is going to change the world. I think it's going to be a major growth and catalyst in the markets. I think we might just enter a bear market for 2026, hit a recession, and then continue. I don't think it's going to be a crash like the dot-com era. Remember, the dot-com era was very, very brutal. If we look at the NASDAQ, or let's even the S&P 500, but let's just look at the NASDAQ for a second and go on to the weekly time frame. The dot-com crash wasn't just about the crash that occurred. It wasn't just about the crash that occurred, which was pretty brutal. I mean, the stock market fell 80%. It wasn't just that. It was the fact that the stock market didn't recover until 2015. That's 15 years of not being in profit if you bought at the top of the dot-com crash. That's, I don't think, is going to occur, but we can get a brutal correction. That is something that we can rhyme with. Anyway, I'll leave you with all those thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Grab the newsletter. I'll put it down here. Oh God, it's mirrored, so I can't do it. I'll put it down here. 2 videos up here for you to watch. I'll put the Satoshi video over here to see who Satoshi is. But until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Let me go to live chat. What do you guys think? Crash or no crash? Should we do a poll? Let's do a poll. Will the markets crash more this year? Yes. No. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Let me know your thoughts. Let me quickly do this and make sure I'm doing that. 1 second. Oh, I think we've got a special guest on the show. Let me bring him straight on. 3, 2, 1. Oh, what have I done? Oh, no, I've done something wrong. Let me try again. 3, 2, 1. Special guest on the show. Welcome to the show, Martyn. Lovely to have you on.
Thank you, Sensei. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Great show again. Great information. Everyone should get that newsletter. It does provide great information. I want to just say I want to thank everyone for your support, continued support across all our network. We thank you for all the backup streams. This is really important. We are in the middle of a 72-hour investigation. I'll update you as soon as I can at the end of that 72 hours. There'll be no further comment from me now or in the next stream, which I hope to do in just a few minutes' time. Sensei, you've got the JOLTS report coming up in 6 minutes. Were you going to cover that? I can start our FBI investigation 15 minutes later if that suits you. If you have to go off, it's not a problem. I can start on the half hour if you'd rather finish on time. What would you like to do?
Which report is this? I've got the economic calendar on the screen. Which one are we looking at?
Job openings, JOLTS.
I don't have it on my economic calendar. The ADP's just come out.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially what it is. It's the unemployment information.
Yeah,
If you're not,
we had
if you're
some coming out. I think it came out and it's out. It's now at 22,000. I don't see any other upcoming data.
Okay, no problem at all. I'll go live on the half hour then, and we'll continue as normal. So I'll be live in 5 minutes, folks. I've got a big report which we've paid quite a price to be able to bring to you a full in-depth story. It is the story of the decade. So please do join me live in 5 minutes. Sensei will finish and you'll join me on the show. As I said before, there'll be no further comment. We are in the middle of a 72-hour investigation. We're halfway through it, and I will give you information at the end of that. I cannot comment about it until then, but it's been a very difficult time. We have been asking you to follow and subscribe, all free. There's no fees involved with any of these things, to all of the backup streams, the extra channel, the clips channel, music, Sensei's newsletter, Discord, all of it. Should we no longer be here? Well, you'll know at the end of 72 hours whether we will or we won't, but you'll have a full explanation when we get there. I won't leave you in the dark. I just cannot comment further at this time. Okay, join me in 4 minutes' time for the big event of the day. Until then, Sensei, thank you very much. You're doing a great job, and I'll hand it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Martyn. Okay, so we heard it there. We're going to go over to Martyn in a few minutes' time. Let me go back to the live chat. We did just look at the charts as well. Let me just bring them back to you. Again, yeah, guys, thank you all for your support. We do appreciate it. We do see all the love. So yeah, we looked at some of these levels for Bitcoin at 75,000. If that breaks, we're looking at the 200-day moving average at 58,000. If we do break the levels of $1.57, the immediate one for XRP will be $1.38. And then if we do get a wider correction across the market, I'll be looking at that 200-day moving average, which lines up close to the support, and $1.06 at $1.11. Gold is up today 2%, a massive recovery. That's why I posted on the Substack chat on Friday, last Friday, when we got that big correction on buying gold and buying silver. I gave you all the levels in 3 days. I mean, the market hasn't even been open 3 days, but let's say, including the weekend, we're up 28% on silver. We are also up 14% on gold. So yeah, there you go. What else is there? The S&P 500 is looking like it wants to top out. So does the NASDAQ. 10-year yields are flat. Oil has come down for now. Again, we identified the double bottom. We identified the downwards trend. We said we're going to probably top out unless there is a war that breaks out. Hopefully, no, there isn't. No one wants a war. What else do we have? Yeah, some of the copper picks are just up massively over the last couple days. Let me go to live chat and wrap up the show and go straight over to Martyn. Thoughts on Bitcoin going lower? Do you think we are at the bottom? I think no, I don't think we're at the bottom. Look, I don't think we're at the bottom, but that doesn't mean come at me next week when Bitcoin surges 20%. The market likes to punish both sides. So most of the time, crypto is people going long. So it likes to liquidate them and have massive flushes out. It happens 3 or 4 times a year. That's when we make the most money. The 10th of October, when XRP fell down to $1.38 and then went all the way back up to $2.40. That was incredible. That was a twice a year occurrence. So that happens because most of the time people are long. But then if a lot of people go short, which a lot of people are short now, the market will punish them as well, and it will go up, and it will squeeze the shorts. So that doesn't mean next week we're going to crash on Bitcoin. But yes, in my opinion, but it doesn't mean that we won't crash next week. In my opinion, my general thesis is this year we'll go lower on Bitcoin and crypto. I think we'll find a bottom this year. I think the markets will crash. I don't know if it's going to be a recession, a carry trade, or whatever, but I think we're going to enter a bear market in the general markets as well, find a bottom, and the next year is going to be great. So this year is all about building that position. I think crypto is going to go lower. I think we're probably going to hit the 200-day moving averages on XRP and Bitcoin. But can we pump next week before we crash? Can we pump for half the year before we crash? Yes, we can. But the general thesis, the general analysis, the chart analysis, the the stock analysis, the deep dives, what it's all pointing towards is lower prices. And again, guys, remember 6 months ago, I put out a video, and this was when XRP was around $2.80, $3. We looked at a double top at $3.40 when that occurred. But then at $2.80, I came out with a video. It was just a video recorded. I put it out, and I got so much hate because I said XRP is headed into a bear market. And we were all right. I'm happy to take the hate, but just look at the analysis first before you just quickly say I'm telling you the market's going down and then you hate. Don't do that. Look at the analysis, make up your own mind. That's fine. This is right. That's right. A bounce back. He's from South Africa. Who's from South Africa? Vocal Foster, ADP employment. Yeah, I saw it. It's just lower than expected. But I mean, it's not the biggest number in the world. I don't imagine the markets would have moved massively on that. A. Walton says the newsletter is excellent. Thank you so much, A. Walton. I always appreciate all the kind words about the newsletter. We put so much time and effort into it, so it means the world. I'm going to close that poll. If Bitcoin went from 10 cents to 100K, it's possible XR. No. Whisper After Dark Stories, absolutely not. Absolutely, you must be new to crypto, so I'm just going to give you a flash course very quickly because I'm ending the show. You're new to crypto because that statement means nothing. There's going to be, if you're new to crypto, you're probably going to make a mistake thinking everything's always going to go up. That's wrong. You're going to probably make a mistake to start using leverage because you're going to think you're the best trader in the world. You're not. You're probably going to get a lot of messages on Discord and other places telling you that we've got the next best investment opportunity and you're going to win and send us money and we'll double it for you. Or send us money and whatever. They're going to pretend to be me. They're going to pretend to be Martyn. You're going to go onto another channel, whatever. There's going to be scammers that target you because you're new. So don't believe anyone. Don't give your money to anyone. Don't answer any questions. Don't change your settings. You're new to crypto, so what else are you going to probably fall for? Maybe see, you're going to see a lot of QR codes on YouTube where it says, send me 1 Bitcoin or send me 10 XRP, I'll send you 20 back. It's all a scam. It's all fake, so don't do that. Do some research. And if I need to answer your question, XRP has a market cap of 100, has a supply of 100 billion total. Bitcoin has 21 million. It is absolutely very different. It's 100 times bigger. I mean, the fact that the supply is, you've got 100 billion XRP. So the price is always going to be lower. It cannot do the same thing. Anyway, I hope if anyone else is new to crypto, I hope those lessons apply. And anyone else, Discord, newsletter, wherever, we don't message you directly. We don't tell you to do anything with your money. We don't tell you to, I mean, the golden rule is, I mean, I do message some people on Substack when they're a premium member. Only the premium members are paying. Anyway, the golden rule is don't send your money to anyone. Don't talk about your finances with anyone because we won't. Don't change your settings. Don't move your money around. Me and Martyn and the team would never message you to do any of those things. Joey says, do you think it will hit 192? I'm sure it will again, yeah. Your newsletters are so hot they caught fire to my phone and burnt my house down. A lot of seriously though, your newsletters are beyond incredible and insightful. Just saturated with so much information. Thank you so much. Martyn, yeah, Martyn's going to be live now. Okay, Discord link. Love you guys. Thought Martyn, you've seen the update. Will the markets crash more this year? Yes, says 80%. Jim Rickett says almost time to buy XRP at some point. I've bought some and I'll keep buying on the way down. Sensei, probably 95% or higher of these people will disagree with that analysis or any true analysis like you do, obviously trolls. No, it's fine. I don't care. I open the fact it's actually good if people disagree because I might be wrong. Will the markets crash more this year? I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. So it's great to have different opinions. I don't want everyone just to agree with me because I might be wrong. That's not the point. The point is to give more information so everyone can go out and do their own research and do what's best for their portfolio. Yolanda's here, Bitcoin 49K, XRP 106. Okay, we're going to end the show. Let's go over to Martyn. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. As always, we appreciate all your support. Go sign up to newsletter. There's a free version. There's also a free trial if you want the premium version. It's in the live chat. First link in the description. Go and check it out. Until next, a full profile changer. You keep me 4K in cash in the pile, general. Wadey, I've invested in silver as well. So it's, if you go read the bottom of the newsletter on copper, it gives you my full breakdown of what I'm in. It's in cash, but it's uninvested cash that's earning money. But there's more than 4,000. There's more than 1,000 invested right at the moment. Sensei, I really wish there was a way to have the newsletter read aloud and voice is getting hard to. Susan Swapford, there is. Susan Swapford, there is. If you go on the newsletter, if you download the Substack app, when you click on the newsletter, there's a button that says play. You can play the newsletter. You can message me on the Substack. You can read if you have the app, you can play the newsletter. Okay, guys, until next time, stay where you are. You're going to go over to Martyn. The link to Martyn's show is pinned above. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.